Hello, movers and relocators. Today we are going to explore one of my favorite communities on the west side of Portland. If I were going to live anywhere in the Portland area, then it would be in this area, Beaverton. And we're going to get after this right now. You know, on the Oregon side of the Portland-Vancouver area, Beaverton is one of my favorites. I grew up in Beaverton, but aside from that, now as an adult, I understand what my parents saw in it 50 years ago. The city has about 100,000 people. A lot more than that if you expand out your border outside the technical city limits of Beaverton into Cedar Hills, Tigard, Aloha, and so on. There's a lot of high-tech industries in the Silicon Forest of Hillsboro, which is only 15 minutes away, and also Nike has located in Beaverton. When traffic is light, you can be in downtown Portland in 10 minutes. The schools are highly rated, but not quite as highly rated as the West Lynn School District or Lake Oswego. But the Beaverton School District is no slouch. The current median home price in the Beaverton area is $485,000. As a rule, the expansion of Beaverton was really focused on the south. So as a rule, the further north in Beaverton you are, the older the homes and more affordable. And the further south you go, the more expensive and exclusive the homes become. But there really are no bad neighborhoods in Beaverton. Highway 217 runs through Beaverton, but we don't see the homeless encampments on 217 because we are outside the city limits of Portland. You know, some would say that Beaverton was built around the Nike campus, and that is absolutely not true. When I grew up in Beaverton, where the Nike campus is currently located, was fields full of pheasant. Murray Road, which runs north and south, was pretty much the dividing line between residential to the east and farming to the west. As long as we're talking about Nike, if you're looking for a home near Nike, maybe you're moving here to take a job there, I can get you really close to the Nike campus, within walking distance. I used to walk from our home in Cedar Hills to Meadow Park Junior High. It was not a middle school then, it was junior high. I used to walk that to school, and that is almost right across the street from the Nike campus. You could bike there in under 10 minutes. But these are going to be mid-century homes. You could move to the east on the other side of the campus, more towards Hillsboro, and find some newer homes because that's the direction of the expansion, is to the east of Beaverton. But these are typically further away. What is located really close to the Nike campus are apartment buildings. And so no, the city of Beaverton was not built around the Nike campus. The Nike campus was established well after the city of Beaverton had built up. But it is a welcome addition to the city of Beaverton because the wages there will offer you a pretty decent lifestyle living in Beaverton. So let's start in the north. We're actually outside of the Beaverton city limits, but I consider this area to be Beaverton because Beaverton is the only direction to go for shopping. Let's first look at the Cedar Hills Shopping Center. This opened in 1955, which predates almost all the big shopping centers in the Portland area. In its day, it had a Safeway, a First Interstate Bank, and many shops, Five and Dime, and restaurants. It was truly a place you could go to take care of most of your shopping. The Cedar Hills Crossing Shopping Center did not exist. But fast forward to today, it's not a very thriving shopping center, and I feel bad about that because it has such a historical presence to the area. Hey, just a quick message here. I'm getting over 150 hours of view time each month, and it is growing exponentially. I get on the average of one call a week from people just like you looking to move to the Portland-Vancouver area. Someone once told me that the secret to blessings is gratitude and humility, and I am grateful for every new client that places their trust in me and my team. I will never be too busy to help you. And for now, picture yourself living in the Portland-Vancouver area. It offers a super diverse lifestyle that fits just about anyone. So call or text me to start your own moving experience. Thank you. The Safeway store, which used to be the anchor, is now DMV, but there are restaurants, small shops, a coffee shop, and so on. But for the majority of your shopping, you will need to drop down off the hill into Beaverton. So let's take a drive through a few of the neighborhoods around the Cedar Hills Shopping Center. These have excellent freeway access. In fact, one of the homes that I lived in with my parents, the backyard went right up to the freeway. But now there's a 10-foot concrete wall separating the homes from the freeway, and so the freeway noise is really much less. Homes in this area are in the 400,000s. And like I said before, the freeway access is phenomenal. You are 2 minutes from Highway 26 and 2 minutes to Highway 217 to take you south. So as we take a driving tour through the neighborhoods, I want to bring to your attention this really unique neighborhood. And this existed when I lived there in grade school. These homes are all one story. They all have a facade across the front and very small yards. These were light years ahead of their time, and they're very desirable. And most of them have been updated with modern conveniences. If you can get into one of these homes, this would be a score, because these don't come on the market very often. I used to walk to these homes because in their day, these were very exclusive homes, and go door to door asking to wax cars, and I got quite a bit of business. But this is outside the Beaverton city limits in unincorporated Washington County, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, now let's drop down off the hill and come into the Cedar Hills Homes Association, which was one of the first truly planned communities in the Portland vicinity. If you look at an aerial photo of this community, it is almost round. The streets go in a circular pattern. It is not rectilinear north, south, east, west. These are predominantly mid-century ranch homes with some split level. And as you leave Cedar Hills Boulevard and enter the Cedar Hills community, you are starting at the very first, the original start of Cedar Hills. And so the homes here are the oldest. And as you continue down Huntington Boulevard, the homes will get newer, as Cedar Hills was not completed until the mid-60s. This does have an HOA. The HOA fees are pretty reasonable, but because of the HOA, I believe that it has enhanced and maintained the values of the homes here. Even though we're talking a mid-century neighborhood, these homes even today, as a rule, are in really good condition, and most of them have been updated to modern standards. You cannot park a RV in your driveway or on the street. At some point, they did not allow the homes to be rental homes, but I believe that has been relaxed due to some of the state laws. But the fact remains, this homeowners association has enhanced the values and will continue to do so into the future. So this is not a 97005, 006, or 007 zip code. As Beaverton, this is 97225, and a mailing address that says Portland, but you are not in the Portland city limits. So this is a bedroom community, 10 minutes from downtown Portland, as long as the traffic is light. My mom still lives here, and in her 80s, she still feels comfortable driving to the Cedar Hills Crossing Mall and can get almost all of her shopping needs met there. She at times will venture down to Fred Meyer on Canyon Road to augment her shopping needs. But this is literally 3 minutes from her house. And you can get your groceries there. There's a Powell Books there, Best Buy. We'll do a drive-by here. You know, this reminds me. When I was in grade school, we lived about 4 blocks off of Cedar Hills Boulevard in a mid-century community. And behind our house, over the fence, was a field. And we used to jump the fence, and of course it was quicker than going up to the next block and over, so we jumped the fence a lot. But my point is, we would walk over to Cedar Hills Boulevard, and directly across the street was the Bernard's Airport. This predated any retail space where the Cedar Hills Crossing currently sits. And this was the Bernard's Airport, which eventually was decommissioned and then became the Bernard's Beaverton Mall. And later, that was, I assume, taken over by another company and recommissioned as Cedar Hills Crossing. And it continues to be expanded north to Walker Road. And I believe that that's going to be the end of their expansion because they're butting right up against residential property. But ignoring history, the Cedar Hills Crossing is now just blocks away from the Cedar Hills community. Because of the age of the homes, this is a pretty affordable community. You can get homes starting in the 400s here, and occasionally even the high 3s that need a little bit of work. My mom has had no property crime issues at her home in the 50 years that she's lived there. So this area could be worth a look for first-time homebuyers. The other area that could be worth a look for first-time homebuyers is directly across the street from the Cedar Hills Crossing on the other side of Cedar Hills Boulevard. These are more early to mid-century ranch-style homes in the 400s. Okay, as we venture south into the Beaverton downtown core, we're going to find more mid-century and even turn-of-the-century homes and affordable living in the 400s. And some of these homes offer walkable shopping. There's a farmer's market downtown that's very vibrant, an awesome library, tons of car dealerships along Canyon Road. Although the homes in the downtown core tend to have a slightly exaggerated property crime rate due to the fact that they have a lot of apartment complexes mixed in with the single-family homes. There are no apartment buildings, and I am not aware of even any duplexes in the Cedar Hills Homes Association. So this is a bit more of a inner city lifestyle with amazing access to mass transit, the bus system and the train system. You could live here without a car. Okay, moving further south. As we move further south, this is the direction of the expansion of Beaverton, the homes become newer and more expensive. And as we get to the far reach of Beaverton, we come into brand new homes and very exclusive homes, with an occasional major street with shopping, Murray Boulevard, Canyon Road, etc. So as we head further south, the median home price goes up to about $550 and finally to about $700. But there are pockets of homes, especially in the Kennemer area, with homes on acreage that are in the millions. So there is truly something here for everyone. I always try to feature homes that are near amazing shopping, and this brings up the Progress Ridge Town Square. This is a cute little shopping center, virtually new, with full occupancy, that is situated on a little lake. And you could spend the day here enjoying shopping and a little nature. But if you need a little bit more serious shopping, Washington Square is 10 minutes to the east, and this is one of the big 3 shopping centers in the Portland area. So Beaverton has it all. Homes starting at about $400,000 up to $1 million and beyond. You are just over an hour to Cannon Beach at the coast. Mass transit is available throughout the area. So if you want to live on the west side, if you want to live close to downtown Portland with a better commute than coming from Vancouver, then I believe Beaverton may be worth a look. So until the next video, I'll catch you later.